I get where you're coming from with that, and you're right, you can't expect consistency from everyone. That's why, like I said this before, but I think that's why JB is like back in the day, I liked a lot of rappers, but I never had like a favorite. I guess that's something I'll ask you real quick. Who is your favorite rapper of all time? If you had to pick one, let me know.
I've never actually managed to throw together who my absolute favorite is, but I can definitely say, I listen to so much music. I listen to music probably every day. I don't think there's hardly any days that I don't listen to music in some way. But I can definitely say, like, I have favorites for, like, each year. Like, in 2008, I'd probably say my favorite rapper of that year was Tupac. He wasn't alive that year, but I listened to him like crazy that year. 2010, it was probably Eminem with Recovery. 2015, it was probably someone like Marilyn Manson, because as you know, he warped my way of thinking in a lot of ways. I'm trying to think of some of the ones of recent years, but it's kind of tricky to think of a favorite rapper for every year. But I don't know who it would be for 2021. I'll have to think about that. 2021 has not really been that explosive like a year for me in terms of like classic albums or someone that I've just been obsessed with. It's really difficult for me to think as to who's been my favorite. I will say that the past 2 or 3 months that you've been showing me all these BOTDF songs have kind of warped my way of thinking also. It's kind of given me like a growth kind of similar to how Marilyn Manson did, several years ago. But I kind of feel like that's helping just because it kind of allows me to look at like the emo and goth sense of culture and see what they've been messing with for like a dozen years now. So it's kind of to get up on that and have more in common with some, a type of culture that I actually embrace quite a bit is a good thing.
Because for me, if I had to pick a favorite rapper of all time, it would easily be JB. Because for a lot of reasons, like number one, the reason he's my favorite rapper of all time is he's very consistent. I can't really. There's not really a lot of songs by JB I could say that are really bad. He doesn't really have a bad track record. There's barely any songs of mine I dislike. Most of his music I like, and that's a good thing. Most of his music I enjoy. There's maybe only like maybe one or two songs that I don't care for, but for the most part, JB would be my favorite rapper of all time because he's consistent. He makes most of his music is really good, and that's something that is hard for a lot of other artists to do. Another reason he's my favorite is I like everything about him overall: production, rapping, voice, flow, hooks, what he talks about. I just like not only does he make consistent music, but I like everything about him as well. And that's something else that's hard for a lot of other artists to do too. I have a lot of nostalgia for him because he was like a rapper I listened to in my teen years like crazy and still do now. Like, I remember finding him as like a kid, teenager, and I listened to him so much. There was something about his music that really connected to me so much. Like, you know, I just, I liked how real he was and authentic he was and genuine he was. And I liked what he had to say in his music. I liked his energy. I liked his stuff he had to rap about. I liked his thoughts on certain types of music because I felt the exact same way he did in a lot of those cases. And it's just there's something about JB that speaks to me the most. And there's other artists I really love, like BOTDF would probably be top three favorite easily, but JB's probably my favorite rapper of all time because not only is his music very consistent for me, but there's just something about his music that really speaks to me overall. And I would say I even prefer him over Eminem as well. Because let me say something about Eminem real quick. Eminem is someone I like and definitely respect. I'll always be a fan of his music and I respect him. Absolutely, he's a legend, one of the best. But I would say I even prefer JB over Eminem because, okay, I grew up on Eminem, but Eminem hasn't really been able to keep it up. He was good when I was growing up, but these days when I'm older, not really. Whereas JB, I got to grow up on him halfway through his career and see him all the way to now where now I'm an adult and he's still been good putting out quality music. I don't know, it's just there's something about JB that, yeah, so that's all I really wanted to say. But yeah, he's my favorite of all time. Just because I like everything about him. He's very consistent, But I'd like to know who your favorite rapper of all time is. I think that'd be actually a cool video to see from you one day if you ever wanted to do it'd be cool to see you do top 10 favorite artists or top 5 favorite rappers or something like that. And I would say, in terms of favorite music overall, it would still be JB. But number two, BOTDF would probably be next to JB. I'd probably, if I had to pick top 10 most favorite music artists of all time, BOTDF would easily be number 2, easily. Because, man, I'm obsessed with him. I've been obsessed with him since I found him in 2011, and I'll always be obsessed with him. Always enjoy their music. Love the hell out of it. Love how different. I love the style of it. I love how it sounds. I love how the people look that make the music. It's just everything about it. It's much like a JB situation, where I like everything about BOTDF. Well, except for, the controversy, obviously, but yeah.